Hey guys, I'm back. I keep hitting the wrong button. Okay, so remember at the end of the double crochet or the single crochet, we only chained one. Now we want to chain 3 for the double crochet. Okay, so I'm just going to add 2 more. All right, so now we have a chain 3. That is equal to 1 stitch. I have found it is best to skip the first stitch. All right, because this counts as 1 stitch. Skip this first hole, go to the second hole. Okay, we want to wrap around once and put it through. All right, pull it up. Then you're going to pull through 2 loops and then through 2 loops. See how it takes 2 steps to make this stitch? That's why it's called a double crochet. In England, at least according to the old patterns I have, they call this a treble crochet because it has 3 loops. All right. In America, we call this a double crochet. This means that in order for you to use a pattern from another country, okay, I'm going to switch you guys around. First thing you need to do is figure out what country it's for, and then you have to figure out what the different stitches mean. All right, because see, I split my yarn. I have an extra piece here. I just need to put that over, and now I'm fine. Okay, because like I said, in England this is called a treble crochet, or in Europe in general. All right, and we call it a double crochet here. A single crochet in America, remember there are 2 loops on the hook, it's called a double crochet in Europe. Okay, now here's my joint. Oh, I was kind of hoping that was going to fall in between so you could see how the threads work. Hang on. Oh, the difference tension makes. I had to undo and redo quite a few times. You'll notice that I have a couple of stitches here with tighter tension because I want you to see how the yarn plays now that I have this coming through. This is not the proper way to join a yarn. We'll get into that later. Okay, so you can see my red yarn is now going to be going into my, you know what, I'm going to turn you the other. Okay, I think this will be easier for you to see. You can see that my red yarn is now getting ready to go in. All right, you want to pull through your first 2 loops. It's that knot in the back that's causing the issues. It's that knot right there. That knot is such a pain. I should have tied it closer to the end. Okay. Put my needle hook in. Grab my yarn. All right. Grab the red. Pull it through the 2 loops. Nope. Okay, a little bit of fussing on my part, but here we go. Okay, here's 3 stitches. Here we're getting ready to go over. I am going to hook this on the other side of that knot. All right, here we go. This comes in like this. 2 stitches done. I have 1 red and 1 white. Yarn over. Pull through. Another stitch done. But you can see how the stitches lay on each other now. Okay? And how they build. I really wish there was a way to do my fast forward on this, but like I said before, when Microsoft did their latest update, They took that out for some silly reason. So, but let me finish this. Now, what happens if you have to put your work down? I pull a really big knot, or a really big loop, okay? And then I take my yarn and I wrap it around and I make a simple knot. Not too tight because you need to be able to undo it. But if your children grab onto it or the dog gets wrapped up into it, you have a bit of a leeway before it starts undoing. All right? And make sure that you always check to make sure that you unknot it before you start again. I can't tell you how many times I picked up a project, forgot that I had put a knot in, went on and went, why do I suddenly have this big blip there? And that's what it was. So, okay, here's the front of the work. Now let's turn that loop over so you can see a fairly good representation of how the back of the work looks. Okay, remember we did not knit that's the knot. All right, so you can see that the stitches in the back have these loops here, all right, where you can see where the first loop came in and the second loop came in, okay, and you can see how they lay on the back and how they lay on the bottom. The differences between what is the front side towards you and the back side away from you are much more obvious in an ombre yarn. Ombre simply means that it has more than one color to it, okay? Variegated yarn. You can think of it as a variegated yarn, all right? So if it goes from red to black to white to purple to green to yellow to, you know, it's an array, like a rainbow, okay? So if your yarn goes from red to orange to yellow to green to blue to indigo to violet, okay, Roy G. Biv, all right, that's a variegated yarn. Then you have tonal yarns. Tonal yarns go from pink to a light pink to a hot pink to a light pink to a pink to a hot pink. Okay, so you're getting those different tones of the same color. All right, like greens. All right, these are both green, but they're different tones of green. All right. If this were in a yarn, this would be a tonal yarn. I've seen some companies that would call this and the colors in between a variegated yarn. To me, it's simply a tonal yarn. So, now you know how to do a single crochet and a double crochet and a chain. That's all you need to learn to do a granny square. Granny squares. Oh my gosh. Talk about building blocks. Granny squares, depending on the size of the yarn, the number of corners in your granny square, how big they are, how many you have, you'd be surprised at what you can do with them. Let's make this Afghan, okay? Or let's make one of the panels of the Afghan. Actually, let's just make the center of the Afghan. And maybe row 2, because row 2 will build on everything else. Okay, see you in a bit. Bye.